So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I do my budgets, and the reason why I wanted to do a video on budgeting is because budgeting is very important, especially with prices going up in the economy and things going higher and higher and higher, and also your income is not increasing as high as your expenses. It's very important that you budget so that you can maintain and find out how much are you spending on certain costs. So this is the budget that I use to make sure that this is the money that I get versus how much I spend, and I've got enough to save towards my savings or to pay towards something else. There are two ways to increase your disposable income. That is either you increase your income or you reduce your expenses. So income is not so easy to increase. You either maybe have to have a side hustle or marriage, or you have to do certain different types of things to get more income. That's not because usually companies will increase it by a certain percentage every year. However, cost of living is going higher and higher and higher, and sometimes that increase that you get from work is not in line with your expenses and the expenses of the fuel, electricity, petrol, all of those costs. So it's very important to find out how much you're really spending. I also think it's also important to also do a full analysis of all of your expenses, and even things like bank charges, you also have to put it in there as well, because they also accumulate and they also add up at the end of the month. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go in my bank statements and I'll print my bank statements for the month. And based on that, I'm able to see how much money is coming in, which is my income, and also how much I'm spending on different expenses. And then I'll have an Excel sheet that I use that I'm just going to show just now. So this is a template I got from Google, and it's Mint Life, and it's a simple Excel sheet that I use, and it's got different tabs. So the first tab is the income input, the second tab is the expenses input, and then the third tab is categories, which is fine, and then the budget summary. So in the income tab, you'll see here, for example, May, you'll have a paycheck, which is your salary. So you can put here what you expect it to be, an estimated salary, and what your actual salary is. And if you've got any other sources of income, that could be investments that you're getting, if you're getting like an annuity payment every month, if you're getting a bonus, if you're getting interest income, reimbursements, rental income, or any other income. So if you have any other income, it's actually wise. It's actually a good idea. It would be nice to have more income than just your monthly income. So that's what this tab is here. So this is what I'll put in every month. I'll say, okay, this is what I estimate my salary to be, and this is what my salary actually is. So in the expenses tab, which is a little bit more detailed, it's got like a variety of expenses. So there's different categories here in this expense tab. You've got an entertainment tab line. You've got an education if you're studying, which I'm not at the moment, shopping, personal care, health and fitness, kids, food and dining, which is groceries, and it's also got gifts and donations. Got investments if you're paying towards an investment, and bills and utilities, which is your municipality bill, and transportation and auto. This one I use to like car payments and any insurance. So I'll put it into this bucket over here. And then travel, that's where I'll put my petrol costs, what I estimate my petrol costs to be. And then fees and charges. So anything else, like I'll go through my bank statements the whole thing, and even if it's like a bank charge, I'll put it in there, because you also have to budget for that. So based on this, what it'll do is it'll say, okay, this is how much I estimated it to be for the month, and this is how much it actually was for the month. So green means that you have a saving, so you spend less than what you should have. And here you can see shopping was also a saving, personal care quite high, fitness and health also, it's not so bad, and food and dining groceries was also quite high due to groceries. And then also gifts and donations, tithe and those type of things. Bills and utilities was also small savings, and auto transportation, it's the same, what I expected it to be anyways. And also traveling was a bit of a saving. So what I put in here for my budgeting is I like to round up a little bit, because I think that it's good to have a little bit of a margin, but you can use exact numbers. It's actually better that way, but I just prefer to round up because I just want to give myself a little bit of a margin, should it not be as high or as low as I expected it to be in the actual month. So when I have my bank statements, I'll then tally up the different types of costs on my bank statements, and then I'll put them into the various categories. So if I buy out takeaway, then I'll put it into the food and dining category. Or if I do Uber Eats, for example, then I'll also put it into the food and dining. So then I'll just tally up all my expenses for that month and I'll put it there. Okay, so the nice part that I like about this Excel sheet is that it breaks down the expenses. So you can see what you actually expected it to be and what it actually was. So we can see here that auto transportation is quite high, but we expect that to be the case, being that it's like a car payment and insurance as well. And then the second highest is food and dining, and then entertainment, and also traveling, fuel, petrol as well is quite high. So it just gives you like a high level idea of what your expenses are, where most of my salary is going for that month. So then after that, I go to the budgeting summary, and here is I have a nice budgeting tracker. So this will show you the income at a total level, and it also show me my expenses at a total level. Then it also shows me the difference. So here the difference is higher than what I expected it to be. So my actuals were higher than what I expected them to be, and what the difference is as a percentage, which is that 81.5%. And it also tells you your top five expenses. So that's auto and transportation, which is 25% of my salary. It's food and dining, 18.7%, travel, personal care, and entertainment. So all that together makes up 73% of my income. And it also has a graph as well here. This is why I like this particular one, is that it has a graph as well that shows you, okay, this is your income and that's your actual breakdown, which I think is pretty great, based on your income and then also based on your expenses at the bottom. So after I've then put my numbers into this sheet, and I know, okay, this is how much income I'm getting, this is how much expenses I'm getting, what I'll do is to say, what is the point of what I'm trying to do? So I'm trying to at least save 2,000 Rand more. So which means I have to find somewhere where I can cut, maybe save, and see what I can do about it, right? So based on this, I'll then say, okay, fine. Based on based on the top 5 high expenses, what can I do to save more to pay towards my bills or to put towards my savings? And also, is it fixed or variable? How easy is it for me to change? Because if it's fixed, then it's harder to change a fixed cost, because like fixed cost is like rent. So if you pay rent the same amount every single month, and it's not easy to change that easily, especially because you're going to pay rent for the next 12 months, or unless maybe you change and you go to a cheaper place. But for the most part, it's a cost that's fixed every single month, and you know exactly how much you're going to pay. And then variable, I was like, okay, there's some parts where it's sort of like fixed and variable, but variable means that based on usage, I'm able to determine how much I'm likely to use for that month. So car and insurance, for example, I said, what can I do to save more? At the moment, in the short term, unless I sell my car, there's nothing that I can do about it right now. So in the short term, nothing for the car premiums. But however, for the insurance, what I can do is I can call either my insurance company and ask for a reassessment because it goes high every year. But I feel like if you're not claiming and your the amount that you owe to the bank reduces every year, it should be going down and not high, but it's neither here nor there. So what I'll do is I'll then call my insurance company and give them a chance to say, okay, this is what I like, let's reassess how much you're charging me. Most of the time they are willing to go a little bit lower. However, if they're not willing to go lower, then you start looking for a car insurance that gives you the cover that I actually want. So that's what I do, like yearly. I don't do that monthly, but I definitely do that yearly. And travel, which is my petrol costs. This one here is what you can do is maybe use petrol sparingly, but there's some that's like, okay, you go to work every single day, so you're going to use petrol for at least like 4 weeks. So okay, fine, that's plus minus 2 tanks. And how much will my tank be? I can try to cut out extra activities, but not too much of that, because you also want to have a life outside of work. So it's variable, but so I can try to be a little bit more prudent, maybe get like someone to, like if we're going somewhere with someone to a particular event or something, I can go with someone or carpool, so that maybe can save me for that day. However, if I'm just going to work, which is mostly what I do, there's not really much I can do, and the trips that I have are very close to the gym, to the church. It's not so far, so there's really nothing much to do there. However, when I look at my food and my dining, my groceries, what I can do here, because it's pretty high, is I can try to buy a bulk buy. So looking at deals, looking at what I can get cheaper bulk buying for that particular month, and looking for savings online, and possibly, and this is also variable cost. So why I say it's variable is based on how much you buy. So how much you're going to use for that month is based on how much you buy for that month. And looking, so what I can try to do here is to look for loyalty cards and royalty cards for points. So if I've got like a royalty card that gives me savings here, 25 Rand there off, 50 Rand there off, that's also something that can go a long way, but it's definitely an expense that I'm going to look at. Entertainment, what I can do here, that's variable, that is, so you do sign for a particular period. However, you can cancel anytime, but you do pay the same amount every single month. So it's fixed in nature, but I don't think you're like locked down. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think you're locked down for the whole 12 months. Maybe there's a cancellation fee. However, you can cut down on subscriptions. So I've got a whole lot of subscriptions. So maybe to say, okay, if I've got like 3 movie or series sites, do I need all 3? Maybe I can have 2 or even 1. And and then try to save as much as I possibly can, especially if I haven't been using one for a long time, then I don't need to pay for it every single month, because I haven't used it for the last 2 months or the last month. So I might as well just cancel it and move on. And that's something that looking at my bank statements really helps me with. It helps me to go through my bank statements and see where is my money actually going, and that all adds up and it tallies together. Because what I've actually noticed as well is that there's some expenses you're like, oh, I haven't done that in a while, I haven't used that in a while, but you keep paying every single month because you've signed a contract a long time ago. So it's actually a very good practice to do, and I recommend it. Personal care, here I can possibly also bulk buy some of my items, maybe buy now and I'll use for the next 2 months, or just reducing consumption on certain things. But it's a variable cost. I think it's a variable cost, but it's also, unless you're excessive, then you have to reduce your consumption. But if you're not excessive, I suppose maybe bulk buying is cheaper. If there are deals to, like, say, buy 2 and buy the third one and get the third one for free, then something like that would help. So then that is my action plan, and that's what I'm going to do. So I've got these different tabs. The first one is what the expenses, how I expect to save, and also keeping track of that. So every single month I'm going to go and hold myself accountable to see what of these items that I can do have I done, and also saving towards my goal of saving 2,000 Rand a month at least. And that is the end of my video. Thank you for watching, and bye.